So today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, and that's mostly is rate cuts bullish or bearish? Because running a Discord for 4.5 years, I can tell you there is a lot of mixed emotions about that. I mean, it's probably more emotions than my baby mama, not even going to lie. But also, I do want to start off with this because I thought this was kind of funny. I do want to talk about this. I talk about Ricky and Ron all the time. You know why I do? Because I don't go on YouTube or Google, and I don't go to Google, and I don't type in this, and I don't look up stuff like this, and I don't talk about stuff like this. Because when you're trading, it's not based, like, guys, you literally do not trade off of news. That is the most dumbest mistake you can do. And that's literally all these YouTubers do. They want the rhythm to pick them up. And honestly, I don't care about showing my account. I don't care about a lot of things because let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. If you do make it good and rich and you do get older and you do post your gains and you flash your money and if you have kids, they will use that in court. And then when you tell the judge, no, judge, I didn't flash $500,000, they're going to smack you with child support. So there's a reason why some people don't post their gains online, but some people do TA like me. So sub the channel if you want to find out. We are going to talk about something really difficult to talk about. I mean, it's probably taken me 10 years to actually understand because really you actually have to play through a bull and a bear market for actually to take a grasp of it. And you actually have to kind of look back in history and see what the market does and like the history of, how rate cuts and, just how they work in general. Because rate cuts and just hike rate or rate hikes, whatever you want to call it, they really come with the market. And a lot of people talk about it a lot and inflation, and you need to be very careful because if we are cutting rates, I want to show you this really quick. So in 1979, one of the biggest news, you should probably look into and study because this is what educates you. Don't go type in what's the stock news, what's the number one stock to buy today. You should probably stop trading if you're doing that. But the news that you should go study and go on YouTube and look it up and study it is you should really look at 1979. I talk about it all the time. I really do. I talk about that's one of the best things you can, refer to on interest rates, and especially today's market. Not 2002 or 2000, like year 2000 on the dot-com bubble, or what's it 2000? I can't remember. The biggest bubble besides like the Great Depression is around 1979. And that's what I really want to talk about today is you really need to understand the grasp of this. This right here, this is inflation. This green chart, I can tell you right now, the market was doing the exact same thing. It was going up, it was going down, it was going extremely hard up, and then all of a sudden it had a really, really hard crash. The reason why I want to talk about this is because of interest rates. A lot of people don't talk about this because they are not educated and they're scared to talk about it. Me, I'm not. I've learned enough. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I really don't care if I'm wrong, but most likely I'm not really wrong about this. Now, here's the thing. So in the green, this is inflation, okay? Right here. This is inflation. This big green bars. This right here in the blue, this is going to be your rate hikes and your rate cuts, whatever you want to call it, just rates pretty much. So the reason why I do want to talk about this is because if you actually look at it, and just like I said, the green bars, even though it's inflation, this is how the market was moving. So if the market is moving and pushing really hard up, look what inflation is doing. It is pumping. It is pumping. But the biggest problem that they did wrong is they were holding rates really, really long, and they even jacked them up. They jacked them up to like 14%, which is, guys, that's a different area. So 14% was, trying to battle this inflation. But the biggest thing is they were really late to the game. They really had a really strong push up, and they didn't know how to handle it because we never really had a market pop like this. So they had a really strong push in rates, and then they cut it really hard. And then they were like, oh, we messed up, so we need to jack up rates again. And then they finally were starting to beat inflation because they were raising rates. And what that does to raising rates is that kills inflation. And then they also had pretty much a market crash. So that really dropped inflation. That really got them to have the chance later in 1982 to start cutting rates. So my point is, right now, Powell is cutting rates, right? We're at, a top, or we're at really high, valuation levels for the stocks. But why is Powell cutting rates? Well, this could be a leading indicator on what the market's probably going to do. I talk about it all the time. Trump wants to cut rates. You cannot cut rates with the bull market. So all those people that you're watching that's telling you that we're going into another bull market, and like I talk about all the time, when people are saying crypto's going to $250,000, especially, dude, oh my gosh, dude, those crypto millionaires that are saying like Bitcoin's being at $250,000 by the end of December, holy cow, dude, like who is paying them off? Like that's literally what I ask every single time. But what I'm telling you is crypto's going to have a reset. The market's going to have a reset. Your Mega 7 is going to have a reset. The reason why is because the only thing holding down inflation is rates. As they were jacking up rates, they were trying to battle this inflation back in 1979. But here's the thing, guys. If you want to cut rates, you have to have a market drop. So if you're thinking that, the start of the bull market back in 2023 to right now, almost in 2026, and if you think we're going to go into another bull market in 2026 to say 2029 or 2028, just be careful. Just be careful. But also, I do want to show you this because I think this is really cool how TradingView did this. And this is something that a lot of other YouTubers, I don't even think another YouTuber has talked about this. So let's throw this out here really quick. So it has the whole world map, okay? And a lot of people, want to talk about inflation and rates, and I haven't seen another YouTuber do this at all either. I don't know why it's not loading. Let me see if I can pull it back up. But guys, you have to remember that inflation, see this right here? See this word inflation rate? Doesn't just affect America. It affects the whole world because everybody in the other countries, our market affects their market. We're number one in the world. So whatever our stocks are going to do, most likely those economy stocks in other countries are going to do the exact same thing. So let's start off like this, right? So let's go back, let's see, what year was it? Oh, I think it was 2023. Let's go to, I think it was around, it was in December because I remember trading in December because that really got me with that really, I don't even want to talk about that move. Okay, so let's talk about inflation rate in 2022. And I want to show you by a couple months throughout the whole world what it does. So our inflation rate, let's just kick it back just to see if it drops a little bit more. We'll do 6%, right? We'll just do 6% because it's whatever. You're still going to see it either way. So our inflation rate in I guess I got 2021. Do I? Yeah, I do. Let's go a little bit higher. No. Was it 2020? Yeah, 2020, okay. So our inflation was around 1.2% in 2020. So let's check out Russia, right? So kind of remember this. So our inflation, 1.2%. Let's go to Russia. Did I click that? Oops, oh well. 4.4%. Let's go to China. -5, I guarantee they were lying. Let's just do these three countries because I don't want to just, you can see the colors. The lighter it gets, the more inflation it gets. So US has 1.2%. Russia has 4.4%. South America has 4.3%. So if you go look at their charts, their indexes, they're most likely going to copy ours. So if you overlap our index with their index, it's most likely probably going to be the same or close to it, either way. So as we're going into 2023, right, the economy is booming, we're doing better. Here's December, in December July 2022, our inflation jumps really hard. So we're probably, where was it? I think we're like right here or something. Let me make sure. Take this off, take that off. Just want to double check. Oh, did I mess my thing up? Either way, I'll just do this. So in 2022, we were around 8.3%. Now, we were just on Russia in 2020, and they were at 4.3%. They're at 14% then. Let's go to South America. They're at 8.7%. So as our inflation is going up, the whole world's inflation is going up. The cost of living, beef, building materials, stag inflation's coming in. So let's go to, let's say 2023, right? So ours is going down. So now we're back at 3.2% because we're raising rates. Now, if you don't know, other countries copy us on our rates. So if we raise rates, they raise rates. If we cut rates, they cut rates. That's just how it's always worked, just because we're number one. So in 2023, all the way from 9%, we go back down to 3%. Russia goes from 14% to 4.3%. South America goes back down to 4% from, I think it was like 7% or something like that. That's because everyone is having high rates. So what I'm saying is, what I just showed you at the beginning of the video, if we're cutting rates and other countries are cutting rates, that's going to make inflation go up just a little because we're cutting rates. But I'm pretty sure we're going to expect a bear market really soon. Not this week, not next month, not in 2 months. We could probably start in 3 or 4 months and then have a 6-month bear market and then have the next bull rally. So be very careful what you're watching online, and especially people posting just articles about stuff that they read off of Google. Don't be like those people. Don't follow those people online. Those people that back up Ron and Ricky, guys, they don't do TA. That's not TA. I can go on here. If I want to become YouTube famous, I'll go, man, what should I talk about today? Man, I should just talk about how Amazon sold a bunch of shares, or how I should talk about, let's see what Yahoo Finance says today, or maybe I should just copy another YouTuber. I don't want to do that. I don't care. I do this stuff for free. So be careful who you watch.